Right. Think about actual hours. It has given 3 hours and 2 hours. Actual hours 3 hours and 2 hours. Therefore, absorption based on actual hours, absorption ratio equal finishing department 300 per labor hours as well as 250 per machine hours. Then think about from a finishing department, absorption ratio 300 per machine hours into actual machine hours. Therefore, for produce ABC, actual machine hours equal 3 hours, and for PQR, actual machine hours equal 2 hours. Then take the answers. Absorption here 900 as well as here 600. Therefore, this is overhead absorption. Now, by using profit markup, it has given profit markup 20% on cost of production. Now think about ABC. Production cost per unit can be calculated. Production cost per units. Prime cost plus overhead absorption. Take the production cost per units. 1600 plus 500 plus 900. Production cost per unit equal 3000. This is production cost per units. Then profit markup 20%. Think what we know cost value now. Therefore, profit markup for ABC. ABC profit markup equal 3000 into 20%. Profit markup cost value we know divided by 100 into 20. Profit markup equal 600. Therefore, selling price equal 3600. Selling price equal 3600. But think what PQR selling price is given. Profit markup. General equation. Cost plus profit equal selling price. Cost plus profit equal selling price. Profit markup is given 20%. If it is markup cost value 100, then profit equal 20. Therefore, selling price equal 120. Now think what PQR we know selling price. PQR we know selling price. Therefore, think how to calculate profit markup. Selling price cost value we don't know. It has given selling price. Therefore, think what PQR. PQR profit can be calculated. Selling price we know. Think what selling price equal 120 now. Think what this equation. Therefore, here gross profit can be calculated. 6000 that is selling price. It is equal 120 divided by 120 into 20. Think what difference. ABC cost value we know, but PQR selling price we know. Therefore, 6000 divided by 120 into 20. Therefore, here profit equal 1000. Then production cost can be calculated. Then production cost plus profit markup equal selling price. Therefore, this one minus this one. Therefore, now cost of production equal 5000. Cost of production equal prime cost plus overhead absorption. Overhead absorption we know. Therefore, 5000 minus 1600. That is a prime cost. Therefore, prime cost equal 3400. Now see the requirements. See the requirements. Requirement third one they ask production cost, production overhead per units as well as selling price per unit ABC. In third requirements. Third requirement they ask production overhead per unit. Production overheads per unit. Therefore, production overhead per unit equal production overhead per units. They ask ABC production overhead per unit equal 500 plus 900. Therefore, production overhead per unit equal 1400. As well as they ask selling price per unit. Selling price they ask. Therefore, selling price also calculated. Selling price also calculated ABC selling price equal 3600 rupee value. Think about requirements. ABC they ask selling price as well as overhead absorption they ask. Overhead absorption also rupee value 1400. Overhead absorption they ask. ABC. Then requirement fourth one they ask PQR. PQR. Production overhead per unit as well as prime cost per unit PQR. Think about requirement PQR. Requirement fourth one they ask production overhead per units PQR. Therefore, production overhead per units. Think about PQR production overhead per unit equal 1000 plus 600. 1000 plus 600 equal 1600. This is a production overhead per PQR. And next one they ask prime cost of unit. Prime cost per unit they ask PQR. Prime cost per unit also calculated. It is equal rupees 3400. Think about PQR as well as ABC. Think about requirements. Lesson compulsory question number 2 normally management accounts. Allocation, apportionment, reapportionment. Analysis sheets included there are 3 steps. Then think how to calculate absorption ratio based on budgeted information, but absorption based on actual information. Prime cost plus overhead absorption equal to production cost. Then by adding profit markup or profit margin, selling price also can be calculated. Selling price. That next one, think about stock level, question number 6. Stock level also important, question number 6, think about. Question number 6, try to answer. It has given the given information relevant for material used by the business for production process. It has given assume there are 5 working days per week. 5 working days per week. There are 5 working days. And given consumption unit per week. But lead time it has given dates. Consumption it has given per week. But lead time it has given per dates. Stock level cannot be calculated by using like this. එකනේ consumption එක week වලට දීලා lead time dates වලින් දුන්නොත් ගාන අපිට හදන්න බෑ. එක්ක consumption ගේනවා dates වලට. Consumption per day. or lead time weeks වලින් හොයා ගන්නවා. මේ දෙකෙන් එක්ක මොකක් හරි එකට එන්න ඕන අපි. අපි lead time එක හදාගමු week වලට. නැත්තම් ගාන අපිට හදන්න බෑ. මොකද මෙතන තියෙන්නේ consumption week but lead time dates very important. දැන් මට කියලා දෙන්න මේ ටික ඕන ratios හොයන්න දන්නවා බලන්න. But try to calculate lead time weeks per week. Lead time also weeks, think also. Lead time, try to calculate weeks. Lead time weeks. How to calculate? It has given 5 working days per week. You got 30 working days. Therefore, 30 divided by 5. Answer is weeks. Therefore, weeks, 6 weeks. Therefore, this is the thing you have to consider. Consumption it is given per week. Therefore, lead time also week. You got 20 divided by 5. Answer equal 4 weeks. Therefore, minimum consumption, minimum lead time 4 weeks and 6 weeks. Four weeks and 6 weeks. Consumption given per week. Therefore, lead time also you have to calculate weeks. But given dates, before calculate stock level. Then first one there's reorder level. Reorder level. Try to calculate reorder level. First one write the equation. Reorder level equal maximum consumption into maximum lead time. First one write the equation. Maximum consumption into maximum lead time equal reorder level. Therefore, reorder level equal maximum consumption into maximum lead time. Maximum lead time maximum consumption into maximum lead time. This is where you have to calculate reorder quantity, reorder level. Reorder level maximum consumption it has given 40,000 into maximum lead time 6 weeks. Consumption is given per week. Therefore, lead time also weeks. Therefore, 240,000. This is a reorder quantity. So reorder level. Then second one there's minimum stock level. Minimum stock level. Write the equation. Minimum stock level equal reorder level minus average consumption into average lead time. Average consumption into average lead time can be calculated minimum stock level. Reorder level calculated, it is equal to 204,000. And average consumption, think what average consumption, how to calculate? Maximum consumption plus minimum consumption divided by 2. 40,000 plus 20,000 equal 60,000 divided by 2 equal 30,000. Think average consumption. Average lead time 6 plus 4 divided by 2 equal 5. Think how to calculate average consumption as well as average lead time. Think what minimum stock level. Take the answer. Therefore, 240,000 from that fell deduct 150,000. Therefore, minimum stock level equal 90,000 quantity, not rupee value. Stock level should be calculated quantity. Stock level should be calculated quantity, not rupee value. Therefore, reorder quantity, reorder level, and maximum stock level. Next one, so second requirement, maximum stock level, minimum stock level, and third one, maximum stock level. Before calculate maximum stock level, you have to calculate economic order quantity. Reorder quantity also not given. Therefore, before calculate maximum stock level, first one write the equation. Maximum stock level equal reorder level plus reorder quantity ROQ. If it has not given, it is equal EOQ. If it has not given, ROQ equal EOQ minus minimum consumption. Minimum consumption into minimum lead time. This is the equation you have to apply to calculate maximum stock level. Reorder level calculated, and the reorder quantity is not given. Therefore, you have to calculate economic order quantity. Economic order quantity 2 DCO divided by CH it square root. Try to calculate economic order quantity. EOQ equal economic order quantity 2 DCO divided by CH. Divided by CH, it is square roots. Think how to calculate economic order quantity. Economic order quantity its square root should be calculated. Therefore, this is the equation you have to apply. Take the answers. Therefore, economic order quantity EOQ equal to annual demand equal 3,201,000 and ordering cost per order equal 12,000. That is ordering cost per order. Then divided by holding cost per units. Holding cost per unit, it has given 12. Holding cost per unit is given 12. Then its square root should be calculated. Square roots. Take the answers. Economic order quantity can be calculated. Calculate can be used. Economic order quantity equal. Take the answer. Therefore, economic order quantity equal 8,000. When we are going to calculate maximum stock level, as a reorder quantity, you have to consider economic order quantity. Then take the answers. Take the answers. Reorder level already calculated. It is equal to 240,000 plus reorder quantity equal 8,000 minus minimum consumption into minimum lead time. Minimum consumption it has given 20,000. Minimum lead time equal 4. Therefore, 20,000 minimum consumption in minimum lead time. Therefore, in this example, maximum stock level also equal to 140. In this example, maximum stock level also equal to 140. Practically සාමාන්‍ය මේව වෙන්නේ නැහැ. නමුත් මේ ගාන විදියට එන්නේ 240. Minimum consumption into minimum lead time also equal 80. Reorder quantity also equal 80. Therefore, maximum stock level equal 240 in this example. But next one, there's average stock level. Average stock level equal maximum stock level plus minimum stock level divided by 2. Practically maximum stock level එක වැඩි වෙනවා reorder level එකට වඩා. අපි මේ ගානේ calculation අනුව අපිට එන්නේ මේ. Next one, third one. So fourth one, there's average stock level. Average stock level equal maximum stock level plus minimum stock level divided by 2. Maximum stock level maximum stock level plus minimum stock level. We are going to calculate average stock level. Therefore, average stock level equal maximum stock level plus minimum stock level equation you have to keep in mind. Maximum stock level plus minimum stock level divided by 2 equal average stock level. Take the answers. In this example, maximum stock level equal to 140,000 and minimum stock level equal 8,000. Therefore, average stock level can be calculated. This one divided by 2. Maximum stock level plus minimum stock level divided by 2. Therefore, 240,000 plus 90,000 divided by 2 equal 165,000. Quantity, stock level always should be calculated quantity. Stock level. Then next one, question number 5, question number 6, 7. Relevant for ratio analysis. Question number 7, relevant for ratio analysis. Think about there are 5 type of ratios we have discussed on day level. Profitability ratios, liquidity ratios, then leverage ratio, efficiency ratios, as well as investment ratios. Therefore, this one relevant for investment ratios. Investment ratios. It has given statement of changes in equity. Ordinary shares, general reserves, as well as return earning. And given profit for the year also. Transfer to the general reserves. Dividends paid amount it has given. And closing balances it has given. As well as it has given consideration of ordinary shares. Per share price also given. Therefore, value is given, values in 1,000. Per share price also given. Therefore, by using those information, can be calculate number of shares. First one, there's earning per share. Earning per share, how to calculate? Profit for the year divided by number of shares. earning per share equal profit for the year. Profit for the year divided by number of shares equal earning per share. Write the equation also. Profit for the year divided by number of shares. Profit for the year divided by number of shares. Profit for the year available statement of change in equity 24,000. Number of shares it has not given. Try to calculate number of shares and given total share capital value is given. Share capital value equal 60 million. Take rupee value divided by number of per share price equal 100. Therefore, this is the number of shares. Issue value equal 100,000. Number of shares 100,000. Number of shares issue equal 100,000. Then profit for the year divided by number of shares. This is the number of shares. Therefore, number of shares equal 600. Record values in 1000. Earning per share can be calculated. Per share price is given. Ordinary share value it is given. Value divided by per share price equal number of shares. This is the number of shares. Record values in 1000. 240,000 divided by number of shares. Therefore, earning per share equal ₹4. And dividend per share, how to calculate? Dividend per share also equation. Think about dividends paid or interim dividends. Dividends paid, it is called interim dividends divided by number of shares. It has given retained earning columns dividends paid amounts. Dividends paid amount, it has given retained earning columns. Dividends paid value equal 9 million. And number of shares equal 600. Values in 1000. Therefore, dividend per share equal. Dividends per share equal ₹15. This is the dividend per share and earning per share relevant for investment ratios. Investment. Right now, see the question number 1. Question number first one, 11 for CVP analysis. Question number first one, 11 for CVP analysis. Think cost, volume, and profit analysis. Try to recognize variable cost per units and total fixed cost as well as selling price per units. It has given a school planning to annual staff trip. The following information has been estimated for the trip by accounting teacher of school. සල්ලි එන්නේ කොහෙන්ද කියලා මුලින්ම හොයාගන්න. ඒකත් එක්ක vary වෙනවද කියලා බලන්න. It has given fees charges per teacher. ඔන එක ටීචර් කෙනෙක්ගෙන් තමයි සල්ලි එන්නේ. එහෙනම් දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ බලන්න ඕනේ variable ද fixed ද කියලා හොයනකොට බලන්නේ teachers ලා ගාන වෙනස් වෙනකොට වෙනස් වෙනවද කියලා තමයි බලන්නේ. Think about fees charges per teacher. That is value should be considered as a selling price. Then hiring charges per bus with seating capacity 60 passengers. Think about seating capacity is 60. It is not vary with number of teachers proportionately. Therefore, fixed cost. But think about how many bus requires. And allowances for drivers and assistant per bus. It has also not vary with number of teachers, but it is depend on number of bus. You have to calculate required bus. And given reimbursement expense per teacher, that is value should be considered as a variable cost. Given number of teachers required to be cover the total cost, that is a break-even point quantity. Maximum number of teachers expected for this trip. Think about 300. එක බස් එකකට දාන්න පුළුවන් 60 teachers. But maximum number of teachers expected for this trip 300. From the beginning, try to calculate number of bus. Number of bus required, think about. Bus කීයක් ඕනද කියලා ඉස්සරම හොයාගන්න බලන්න. Therefore, number of bus. It has given hiring charges per bus. Number of bus required. Maximum number of teachers participates 300. Therefore, 300. It has given seating capacity 60 passengers. Divide by 60. Therefore, number of bus required for trip 5 bus. Bus පහක් කොන බලන්න. Therefore, it has given hiring charges per bus with seating capacity 60 passengers. එක බස් එකකට යනවා 80,000. බස් අපිට යන පහක්. It is a fixed cost not vary with number of teachers proportionately. But number of teachers, maximum number of teachers participate 300. Therefore, there are 5 bus required. Right. The number of teachers traveling per bus is limited to seating capacity. හැටට වඩා වැඩියෙන් දාන්න නැතිද? There's total fixed cost of the trip, contribution per teacher, reimbursement expense per teacher, that is a variable cost, and given break-even point quantity also. Right now, try to calculate selling price per unit, total fixed cost, as well as variable cost. If they ask or not, you have to calculate. Therefore, from the beginning, try to calculate variable cost. Variable cost per teacher. It is equal variable cost per units. Number of bus required 5 bus. Right from the beginning, try to calculate variable cost and selling price as well as total fixed cost. Before answer the question, you have to find out total fixed cost, then variable cost per units and selling price. Variable cost per teacher, it is equal reimbursement expense per teacher. It has not given. Therefore, variable cost we don't know. But hiring charges per bus. Hiring charges, that is a fixed cost. Hiring charges fixed cost. Given per bus 80,000, but there are 5 bus required. Think maximum number of teachers participate to the trip 300. Per bus 60 teachers. Therefore, there are 5 bus required. Therefore, hiring charges, fixed cost. And allowances for drivers and assistants also not vary with number of teachers, but it is vary with number of bus. මෙතන අපි බලන්න ඕනේ teachers ලා ගාන වෙනස් වෙනකොට වෙනස් වෙනවද කියලා විතරයි. Therefore, 10,000 per bus. Assistants as well as drivers. There are 5 bus required. Therefore, think about cost. Equal 50,000. And fees per teacher is given 3,000. That is a value should be considered as a selling price. Fees per teacher is given 3,000. That is a value should be considered as a selling price. And reimbursement cost is not given. That is a value should be considered as variable cost. Right now, think about total fixed cost equal hiring charges as well as allowances for drivers and assistants. 300 maximum teachers participates. Therefore, there are 5 bus required. Therefore, think about 450,000 total fees cost. Total fees cost equal 450,000. Now think about requirements. There's total fees cost for the trip equal rupees 450,000. First one, there's total fees cost. 20 marks CVP analysis. Next one, contribution per teacher. Think break-even point quantity is given and total fees cost also we know. Therefore, can be calculate contribution per teacher. Try to calculate contribution per unit equal total fees cost divided by contribution per unit. So break-even point quantity is given. Therefore, BEP quantity equal break-even point quantity equal total fees cost divided by contribution per unit. Think break-even point quantity equal 200. Break-even point quantity equal 200. And total fees cost also we know equal 450,000 divided by contribution per unit. Therefore, contribution per unit can be calculated. Therefore, contribution per unit equal 450,000 divided by 200. Contribution per unit. Take the answer. 450,000 divided by 200. Therefore, contribution per unit equal 2,250 rupees. Contribution per unit equal 2,250. Next one, they ask contribution per teacher. Here, write down answer rupees 2,250. Next one, reimbursement expense per teacher. That is a variable cost. Contribution per unit we know, and selling price also we know. Think about reimbursement expense. Reimbursement expense, that is a variable cost. Therefore, third one they ask reimbursement expense. That is a variable cost. Therefore, contribution per unit equal selling price minus variable cost. Therefore, contribution per unit we know it is equal to 2,250 and selling price per unit equal 3,000. Think about variable cost, that is reimbursement. There's reimbursement expense. Therefore, variable cost can be calculated rupees 3,000 minus 2,250. Therefore, reimbursement expense equals 750. Therefore, reimbursement expense equal, that is a variable cost per unit 750. Next one, margin of safety of the trip. Number of rupee value as well as number. Margin of safety means beyond the BP. Think about maximum number of teachers participate 300 beyond the BP. That is a margin of safety quantity. Beyond the break-even point. Second one, they ask break-even point quantity. And third one, they ask reimbursement expense, that is a variable cost. Then fourth one, there's margin of safety, quantity and value. MOS, if there's quantity, margin of safety quantity means beyond the BP, expected sales quantity minus break-even point quantity. Expected sales quantity minus break-even point quantity, BEP quantity. Beyond the BEP. Think about maximum number of teachers participate 300 and break-even point quantity equal break-even point quantity, it has given 200. 300 participates. Therefore, beyond the BEP, margin of safety quantity equal 100 teachers. $100 teachers. Then there's margin of safety value. MOS value equal margin of safety value. Margin of safety value equal margin of safety quantity into selling price. Margin of safety quantity into selling price. Beyond the BEP, that is a margin of safety, 100 teachers, and selling price, it has given 3,000. Therefore, think about fourth recount, there's margin of safety quantity and margin of safety value. Therefore, quantity equal margin of safety quantity equal 100 teachers as well as margin of safety value equal rupees 300,000. Think margin of safety quantity as well as margin of safety value. Next one thing on requirement 5, surplus of the trip if maximum number of teachers expected participates. Think about 300 participates, there's profit. Margin of safety quantity also calculate. Therefore, easy to calculate profit now. Profit equal margin of safety quantity. Profit equal margin of safety quantity. MOS quantity into contribution per units. Profit is to calculate now. We know margin of safety quantity 100 and contribution per unit equal 2,250. Therefore, profit equal 225,000. Therefore, surplus if of the trip if maximum number of teachers participates equal profit equal 225,000. And next one, there's the fee charged per teacher to cover the total cost if only 150 teachers participate. Only 150 teachers participate, there's fees per teacher. Fees means selling price. It can be calculated by using break-even point equation. Therefore, very important. Think about there's fees charges per teacher to cover the total cost if 150 teachers participate. Now break-even point quantity equal 150. Total fixed cost equal 450,000. Their selling price. Therefore, selling price minus variable cost equal contribution per unit. Variable cost, it is not vary with number of variable cost per unit is not changed. Therefore, they are selling price. Therefore, take the answer. Selling price minus variable cost per unit equal 450,000 divided by 150. Therefore, selling price minus 750 equal, here answer equal 3,000. Take this one other side. Therefore, selling price equal 3,000 plus 750. Therefore, selling price now, if 150 participates to cover the total cost, now selling price should be 3,750. Now selling price should be 3,750. Think about CVP analysis, cost, volume, and profit analysis. Try to recognize how to calculate variable cost, total fixed cost, and selling price. ඔගොල්ලෝ මුලින්ම බලන්න ඕනේ මෙතන සල්ලි එන්නේ මොකෙන්ද කියලා බලන්න. ඒකත් එක්ක වේරි වෙනවද කියලා තමයි බලන්න අපි. දැන් බලන්න මෙතන දැන් බස් ගානත් එක්ක වෙනස් වෙන කොස්ට් එක. බස් වලින් නෙමෙයි අපේ සල්ලි එන්නේ. ඒකයි අපි බස් දිහා බලන්නේ නැත්තේ. It has not vary with number of teachers proportionately. දැන් 50ක් ගියත් එක බස් එකක් ඕන. 30ක් ගියත් එක බස් එකක් ඕන. ඒවා වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ quantity වෙනස් වෙනකොට. හැබැයි බස් අපිට ඕන 5. Maximum number of teachers participate 300. Therefore, 5 bus requires. Try to recognize how to calculate total fixed cost, variable cost per units, as well as selling price. Therefore, here fee charges per teacher to cover the total cost. If only 150 teachers participates, therefore 3,750. Therefore, selling price should be equal to rupees 3,750. CVP analysis 20 marks very important. At question number next one ගෙදරින් හදන්න second mark. ප්‍රශ්න තියුණා ගන්න බලන්න. practice එකෙන් තමයි research එක හැදෙන්නේ. පුළුවන් තරම් ගණන් හදන්න. මාස 3යි තියෙන්නේ. research ආවට පස්සේ කතා කරලා වැඩක් නැහැ. research එක පුළුවන් තරම් වෙනස් කරගන්න try කරන්න දැන්. මොකද මේක research එක මත තමයි අනාගතයේ ඔක්කොම තීරණය වෙන්නේ. පුළුවන් තරම් මාස වෙන. එතකොට හරි. ප්‍රැක්ටිස් එකෙන් තමයි ගණන් හදන්න පුළුවන් තරම්. ඒතකොට තියරි පාර්ට් එක නිකම්ම රියලයිස් වෙනවා. අනිවාර්යෙන් ක්ලාස් එකට සම්බන්ධ වෙන්න. ඉස්සරහදී මම ඕන නෝත් එක්ස්ට්‍රා ක්ලාස් දානවා. ඒත් ප්‍රශ්න නැත්නම් අපි ඊළඟ සැම්බෙමු. ආයුබෝවන්.